The Minnesota Timberwolves just suffered their worst playoff loss ever, and fans are buzzing. Following a shocking Game 1 where Anthony Edwards, who was expected to miss the first 2 games of the series, miraculously led his team to a nail-biting 104-102 victory over the San Antonio Spurs, all eyes were on Game 2. Could the Timberwolves keep that momentum going, or would the Spurs unleash their fury? Spoiler alert, they did, and it was brutal. Right now, fans are scrambling for the latest updates and highlights as the series is tied at 1-1 after the Spurs crushed the Timberwolves 133-95 in Game 2. The stakes couldn't be higher in this playoff showdown, with both teams now gearing up for the next chapter of their battle in the Western Conference semifinals. What really happened on that court at the Frostbank Center? And how did Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs' rising star, play a pivotal role in this dramatic turn of events? Let's break it all down. Before the chaos of Game 2, the Timberwolves were riding high. Edwards, just a day after being deemed a game-time decision, shocked everyone with his performance in Game 1. He scored 30 points, hitting clutch shots down the stretch when it mattered most. His return had fans cheering, with many thinking the Timberwolves could sweep the Spurs off their feet. But that was before the Spurs had their say. They weren't going down without a fight. Fast forward to Game 2, and the Spurs came out swinging. They immediately took control, outscoring the Timberwolves in the first and never looking back. The Spurs' defense was relentless, stifling Minnesota's offense and holding them to a mere 5 of 21 shooting inside the paint. Wembanyama, a 7 feet 4 inches behemoth, made his presence felt with 19 points and 15 rebounds, dominating the boards and altering shots left and right. And just when things looked bleak for Minnesota, the score gap widened quickly. But that wasn't the real shock. While the Timberwolves were reeling from their first loss, the magnitude of their defeat sunk in. This wasn't just a loss, it was the largest postseason defeat in franchise history. Edwards, visibly frustrated, expressed his disappointment post-game, saying, "We just didn't show up. It was embarrassing." Out. You could feel the tension in the air. Fans took to social media, with many echoing Edwards' sentiments, while others had a field day roasting the Timberwolves for their lackluster performance. As the dust settled, the Spurs' victory marked their best playoff win since 1983, demonstrating their experience and resilience as they bounced back after a tough Game 1. Coach Greg Popovich surely had some choice words for his team, and they delivered, showcasing just how dangerous they can be when they play to their potential. The Spurs dominated the final 3 quarters, and it was clear they were on a mission to even the series. But now, with the series tied at 1-1, the question on everyone's mind is, what's next? The Timberwolves have a lot to figure out. Can they regroup and come back strong in Game 3? Or will the Spurs carry their momentum forward? The upcoming games will be crucial. The series heads back to Minnesota for Game 3, where the Timberwolves will need to harness the energy of their home crowd and rally around Edwards. Meanwhile, Wembanyama and the Spurs will look to capitalize on their recent success. Fans are already speculating about key players to watch. Will Edwards bounce back from this historic loss? Can he lead his team back to victory? And what about Wembanyama? Will he continue to dominate the court and help the Spurs close out the series? The narrative is thick with tension as the playoffs heat up, and each game could change the trajectory of both teams. Reactions from the fans have been electric. Social media is ablaze with clips of the game, highlights, and memes of the Timberwolves' epic fail. Some are calling for changes within the Timberwolves lineup, questioning whether they have what it takes to compete at this level. Others are praising Wembanyama's impact, dubbing him a future superstar. The debate is fierce, and it's only going to get louder as the playoffs progress. And then there's the irony. Just when Minnesota thought they had the upper hand, they faced a reality check. The Timberwolves' initial win now feels like a distant memory, overshadowed by the resounding defeat in Game 2. Fans are grappling with the harsh reality that this young team faces a steep uphill battle. The stakes have never been higher, and the pressure is mounting. As we look towards the next games, the atmosphere is electric. Will the Timberwolves rise from the ashes, or will the Spurs continue their dominance? The playoff predictions are rolling in, and analysts are divided. Some see the Spurs storming ahead, while others believe in the underdog Timberwolves' ability to bounce back. As we gear up for Game 3, one question looms large: can the Timberwolves redeem themselves, or is this the beginning of a spiraling descent into playoff disappointment? The clock is ticking, and every possession counts. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. New stories every week.